works. Going to do a little gentle core strengthening and mobility class today. Just a short little session. I'm going to use a TheraBand in the session. If you've got a TheraBand or something that replicates a TheraBand, grab it. If you haven't, don't overthink it. Something like a lightweight towel or a dressing gown cord or a scarf or an old pair of tights, anything like that would replicate what we're doing with it. If you have got a band, you just want to double check every now and then that there are no tears in it. So just glide your eyes down the edges of the band, make sure there are no tears in it. If it's got a tear in it, throw it in the bin. Tears at the end, you could cut it off, that little bit, and put that bit in the bin, but you don't want to have a little tear in your band because as soon as you put your foot in it or put a bit of tension on it, it's got the risk of breaking for you. I'm going to lie down on my back. I'm on an ottoman today, but you could be on the floor. If you're not comfortable getting on the floor, you could actually do this on your bed as well. So if it was a little bit soft, don't overthink it, but something a bit firmer would be good. I want you to be able to feel what's happening with your spine. So I've got my band, I'm going to put it next to me somewhere where I can reach it, and we're going to start laying down on our backs. Feet are hip width, so you don't want them too wide or too close, so they're literally directly in line with my knees, and we want your head in line with your spine. So what I mean by that is your spine and your head should be on the same level. So if you feel like your head is tipped back like that, or you're really struggling to get your head in a comfortable position, you can put a little towel or potentially even a little pillow underneath you. Don't want a big pillow, might be just a folded up hand towel or something, just to tuck underneath your pillow. If you're on a mat, you could literally roll up your mat a little bit and tuck it underneath. We want basically your head in line with your spine. I'm going to start with just a bit of breath work because setting the breath pattern for the session is important, I think. Hands, take your hands, place them on your ribs, and your middle fingers are literally just touching each other. You're going to just drop your shoulders away from your ears and sink down into whatever it is you're lying on, and your chin's up off of your chest, so that puts your head in line with your spine, and you're sort of looking up towards the ceiling, and you're going to try to sort of keep looking at the same spot if you can. You're going to take a deep breath in. You're going to breathe in through your nose, and you're going to breathe out through your mouth. Breathing in through your nose, and out through your mouth. You're letting as much air into your lungs as you can, and you're letting it all out. As you're breathing, you're feeling your ribs expanding. The middle fingers should be gently coming apart, and then they gently drop back together. So you can keep breathing like that for me. If breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth is a struggle, just breathe with your mouth. That's perfectly fine. Might make you feel a little bit giddy if you're not used to doing big deep breaths. I'm going to do one more big deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. One hand's going to stay on your ribs, so you're going to put your other hand on your belly for me. Okay, so we'll do some diaphragmatic breathing. So as you breathe in, you're going to feel your belly, want you to feel your belly lifting up underneath your hand. And as you breathe out, you're going to feel that belly gently dropping back down. You're going to breathe in and your belly lifts up underneath your hand. And you breathe out and you feel that belly gently dropping back down. So as your belly lifts and lowers, your organs get a nice little internal massage here. Okay, so we're accentuating the movement of our diaphragm. Our diaphragm sits at the bottom of our ribs and it goes up and down. So as it's going up and down, it allows room for your lungs to fill up with air. That movement pushes your diaphragm down onto your internal organs and it gives them a nice little massage. The other thing it does is warms up your abdominal wall, the muscles that make up your abdominal wall, and it strengthens your pelvic floor. Don't overthink that. That is just what's happening in your body. Okay, we're going to do one more big deep breath in and out. Okay, we're going to bring our hands and we're just going to gently feel underneath our back. So I've stuck my hands in underneath my lower back and I can feel that there's an arch there. So a section of my spine is not touching the table. Part of my body might be touching the table, but a section of my spine is not touching the table. There's a little arch underneath here. My ribs are touching, my pelvis is touching, but there's a little arch underneath there. So I'm just going to think about that little arch for a moment, and I'm going to bring my hands down by my side, and I'm going to reach my fingers towards my toes. My shoulders are nice and relaxed, my arms are long. Then I'm going to gently roll my pelvis, what I describe as backwards, and I'm going to push my back into the table. So that's made that arch in my back disappear, and I can feel my whole back is flattened into the floor. And then I'm going to just tip my pelvis the other way, and I'm going to let the arch in my back return, and I'm going to make that a bit bigger. So I've arched my back up, and then I'm going to gently roll my pelvis backwards, and I'm going to feel my whole back just gently pushing into the table again. And then I'm going to roll my pelvis forwards and let my back arch. So we're rolling our pelvis backwards and forwards and immobilizing our hips a bit. It's going to relieve any tension that might be in your lower back. Okay, it's designed to do that. You need muscle guarding. Just breathing normally. I'm not going to talk you through the breath patterns. I just want you to move and breathe normally. I'm not going to overthink it too much. I'm going to do 2 more each way. Gently feel your spine flatten and then roll. Your head might be moving a little bit, but really your gaze is sort of following where you started from. So still looking up towards the ceiling. And then you're going to relax just where your back sits in space by itself. I'm going to take our little band and we're going to hold our band shoulder width. Okay, so I've got my the band resting in my hands, and I'm shoulder width, so I'm not too wide. Okay, if it's too wide, just wriggle them in a bit. You're going to pull the band apart, and if pulling it out 100% was fully pulling it out and you're working really hard, I want you to pull it apart 10%. So it's a small little engagement there. Take the band down and rest it on your legs. And then thinking about not letting that little arch in your back move. Don't want it to get bigger or smaller. Take a breath in with me. And then breathe out to float your arms up towards the ceiling. And just go above your head to begin with. And then bring the band back down to touch your legs. So we're looking for quality of movement here. We're not going too quickly. So we're exhaling as we're floating the band up. And we're keeping the arch in our back still. And then we're lowering it down. We're going to start to go further back. So your band comes to the ceiling. And you're going to go back as far as you can without your back arching. And then slowly bring it down. So we're trying to mobilize your shoulders without your back moving. If your back is still, your core is engaged and switch on. Okay, I'm not asking you to suck your abdominals into your spine. If you can keep your pelvis still, your core is working on its own back. Okay, don't overthink it. So for you, that range mightn't be very far. As soon as you start to feel your back lifting, that's where you're stopping. You might find that you're getting a little bit further with each one. I can feel that my left shoulder is quite comfortable, but my right is struggling a bit here. I can feel more tightness in my right shoulder. That's probably my mouse hand, maybe the hand that I change the toggles in the studio with. It's just a little bit tighter than the left. I can feel that as I go backwards. But I'm not pushing the movement. I'm just letting the muscles gently stretch out and mobilizing my shoulder. Okay, we're going to do one more. Exhaling as we go backwards. And inhaling as we come forwards. We're going to take our band and we're just going to drop it next to us and where we can still reach it. We're going to bring our knees and feet together to touch each other, and we're going to place our hands on the front of our hips, around about where our hip bones are. We're going to try not to let our hips swing from side to side, so you want to keep them still. Your hands are a bit of a guide. Starting with your left leg, slowly allow your left leg to go out towards the side without your hip bones moving. So your hip bones should still be pointing up towards the ceiling. You're going to pull that leg back into the middle. Then you're alternating sides. My right leg goes out towards the side, my hips are not moving. And I'm pulling it back into the middle. The movement is smooth, so my leg glides out towards the side. And then it glides back in. I'm exhaling as my leg goes out, and I'm inhaling as I draw it back in. So as we inhale and bring the leg back in, we're thinking of zipping up through the midline. So we're pulling the leg in, we're inhaling, we're zipping up right through our midline. And we go out towards the other side. We're going to do 2 more on each side. One leg moves, the other leg is dead still. So try not to let that other leg wobble in space. If it's wobbling in space, it's highly likely your pelvis is moving. Exhaling as the leg goes out, inhaling as we draw it in. We're going to do 1 more on each side. Your gaze is still up towards the ceiling in the same spot that you were looking at originally. And then you've got 1 more. Bring your hands down by your side. You're going to keep your knees touching in the center. Your hands can be directly by your side or a little bit wider if you prefer. Either is fine. You're going to keep your knees touching as much as you can, and you're going to take both of your feet to the right, and you're going to look over your left shoulder. So nice big rotational stretch through your body. Just go to where's comfortable for your body today. Have a couple of breaths there for me. Then as we come through the middle, we're going to squeeze our knees together. So we're squeezing our knees together. We've got control of the movement. We feel it coming through and zipping up through our midline. We're going to take our knees over towards the left. Our knees are still touching. And we're going to look over our right shoulder. And again, we take a couple of big deep breaths there for me. And breathing into your ribs on that side. And we're going to go again. We're squeezing our knees gently together as we bring them through the middle. We let them go to the opposite side. They're still touching each other, and our gaze goes in the opposite direction. Nice big deep stretch. I'm going to do 1 more the other way, squeezing them through the middle. Gaze to the opposite side. Nice big deep breaths there. And 1 more. And then we're going to come back to the middle, and we're going to pause. We're going to wriggle our feet back into hip width distance apart. We're going to take our hands and we're going to tuck them back underneath our lower back. So hands are now again resting in that little arch of our back. Our neck is nice and long, and we're still looking up towards the ceiling in the same sort of position. Moving from the hip bone as opposed to the knee, with your left leg floated up to 90 degrees, and try not to let your back push onto your hands. And then lower your leg down. With your right leg float it up to 90 degrees, and then lower it down. When you lift your leg up, you're going to alternate sides with me. The lift is so that your knee comes above your hip bone. So you're not bringing your knee too far in towards your chest. You should feel no additional pressure of your back on your hands. If your back starts to push onto your hands, your pelvis is moving. When you lift one leg up, your other knee should be dead still. Okay? If hands under your back is uncomfortable for you, feel free to take them away. Okay. And the next one, try not to let your back push into your hands. Float one leg up and hold it there. Take a breath in, breathe out, bring your other leg up to join it. So there's still an arch in my back here. Lower your first leg down and lower your second leg down. Leading with the opposite leg. Float the leg up and hold. Bring your second leg up to join it. Lower your first leg down and lower your second leg down. We're going to do that 1 more time on each side. As you lower the leg down, it's with control. Don't let your leg flop to the floor. So take a breath in. Breathe out to bring one leg up to 90 degrees. Hold it there. Bring your second leg up to join it. Lower your first leg down with control. Lower your second leg down. Opposite side. Inhale first. Exhale to bring the leg up. Hold it there. Bring your second leg up to join it. Lower your first leg down. And lower your second leg down. Take your arms from behind your back. Stretch your legs out nice and long. Reach your arms right above your head. Stretch your fingers out long for me. Point your toes away from you. Take a couple of big deep breaths here for me. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And then you're going to float your arms up towards the ceiling, and you're going to bring them all the way down by your side. You're going to do a little roll onto your side. You're going to bring your hand across in front of you. Your knees are bent. And then you're going to push yourself up with your hand, and you're going to come up to sitting, and you're going to just sit still for a microsecond because you might be a little bit dizzy. So just a little bit of gentle movement there, some opening up through the chest, teaching our back muscles to switch on, learning that core control in a gentle manner by knowing whether our pelvis is moving or not, and some gentle left legs where we're trying to work from using our core as opposed to our hip flexors and so on. Hope you enjoyed. Sit still for a little bit longer if you're feeling a bit lightheaded. Otherwise, enjoy your day.